chapter 7, Bezat Hashem. David settled in his new home in Jerusalem, and Hashem has given him peace from all his enemies. And Hashem orchestrated that for him. The Navi in that time was Natan. So the king said to Natan the prophet, see, I am living now. He says, look, I'm living in the house of cedar while the Aron dwells within the curtain. Right? David is upset. David is saying, how can I live in my palace and the Aron is in Oved Edom's house and it's behind some curtains? So Natan says, whatever is in your heart, go and do. Hashem is with you. So what did he do? So it happened that night. Natan got prophecy. What did the prophecy say? Lech v'amart l'avdi David, go unto my servant David, tell him, Ko amar Hashem, ha'ata tivne li bayit l'shivti. Hashem officially tells Natan to tell David, will you build me a house for my dwelling? Bet HaMikdash. Why? Because I have not dwelt in a house from the day I left Egypt. I was always in the Oil Moed tent and the Mishkan, tabernacle. Whenever I moved, I didn't say anything. And now, finally, I want David to go. He was a good shepherd, and he was a ruler over my people. I was with him. I killed all his enemies for him. And now I want to make a home for myself. Tell him I want to build a temple. And now, right away, the pasuk we're going to see in a little bit, David's not going to build it. David's only going to do the foundations, and he's going to do a lot of setup. But even from the beginning, Hashem told him it's not going to be him. It's going to be his son, right? Because the pasuk says that it says when your days are complete, he says when your days are complete and you lie with your forefathers, I will raise up after you your offspring, and I shall make his kingdom firm. Your son will build a temple for my sake, and I will make firm the throne of his kingdom forever.
So the foundation of them, like what? The actual foundation, just that's it? Just the base, the floor thing?
The digging.
Yeah.
He did the digging, and also he got all the materials. He stockpiled everything. Shlomo came and just it was much easier for him afterwards. Okay, let's dive into the commentaries over here. So first of all, that we know that the Jewish nation had 3 obligations with the king. What was the obligations? So the appointed king was one. Wipe out Amalek and build the Bet HaMikdash. That's what they needed to do once they enter Eretz Israel. So they finally got rid of Amalek. And they got a king. So now all they have to do is build the Bet HaMikdash. Now that's why this is what's next. This is what's next. Now it says over here that V'asiti lecha Shem gadol k'shem ha'gedolim. It says that Hashem told David, I'm going to make you your name, make for you a great name, like the name of the great ones. What does that mean? It says the Gemara Masechet Psachim. This is referring to Magen David. What's Magen David? Hashem rejected David's wish to build a Bet HaMikdash, but he promised that he'll make him like the Avot. How did he make him like the Avot? After we say Haftarah, Baruch Atah Hashem, Magen David, similar to how we say in Amidah, Magen Avraham. Okay, but we're going to see why. The question is why did David not be able to build it? Why it has to be his son? So that's something we have to address. What'd you say? Oh, good. He was a warrior. Very good. So now the commentary is busy like this. The Mefarshim may give multiple reasons. We'll entertain a few. Number one. David, first of all, was upset. David felt that something's wrong with him. Maybe I'm pasul. Maybe I'm an invalid person. I'm not a kosher person. That's why Hashem didn't give me the zechut. So Hashem revealed to him, no, it's because the blood you shed on the battlefield was like the blood of korbanot. Right? What do you mean? Every kohen, his hand is also bloody. What do you mean? So David said, so then why can't I build it? So Hashem told David, if you build it, it will never be destroyed. You have too much zechut. You have too much zechut. You can't build it. Because then I have no way of punishing the Jewish people if they don't deserve it anymore. So therefore, you have to let me use somebody else. That way I'll be able to destroy it. So you see, it shows the power of a person's hands. A person who is righteous has zechut. Everything he touches, it's going to last. It's a beracha. So he does business, it's beracha in it. That's like Gemara says. You want to do business with someone, take a partner, someone who has zechut, tamid chacham. You should take his money, invest with yours, it'll be mixed, and then you have bracha in your business. A person who builds a house, he builds something, a desk, whatever. That his hands have bracha, it'll last, it won't break. But David also, if he would have built the temple, it would have been the same thing. Then they have another Mefarshim explain that Hashem told David, in the end of his days, there'll be peace in the land, and then there will be time to build the Beit HaMikdash. During that time, Hashem revealed to David the location of future Beit HaMikdash. David got all the materials, but he didn't build it himself because he was a man of war, and Shlomo would be a man of peace. So therefore what? David was not a man of menucha. That's why he couldn't build the Beit HaMikdash. What does that mean? It means that in order to build the Beit HaMikdash, you have to be a man of peace and not a warrior. And David was a warrior. Shlomo wasn't a warrior. He didn't really fight wars. He was good at leading and addressing people's problems and giving wisdom to everybody, but not necessarily a fighter. So therefore, David's personality and his tikkun, let's say, is not what the Beit HaMikdash is associated with. The Beit HaMikdash is not supposed to get involved in wars. The Beit HaMikdash represents the palace of Hashem, and the kingdom of Hashem is established already. You were supposed to fight the wars before the Beit HaMikdash, or Chas v'Shalom, if they destroy it, you fight the wars after. But not what David was meant for. Some people, they don't know how to sit. There's people who don't have menucha. There's menucha, like you have the ability to sit, not have ADD. And there's people who don't have menucha nefesh. They don't have the ability to, when nobody's talking, they're like, say something. Whoa, why so quiet? There's some people who say, no, I like quiet. Everybody in their own mind, their thought, it's fine, it's okay, peace of mind. So David was the type that he didn't have menucha. He couldn't sit and do nothing. You can't just sit here and just be quiet and not be doing some big, great tikkun, great war, great something going on. There always have to be some mission going on. And David he lacked that menucha. Number 3, the Mefarshim says, David now possessed spoils of war. Hashem didn't want him to build it because then they're going to say, look, they took everything from the Goyim and they built the Beit HaMikdash with it. Boaz, another explanation, Boaz told Ruth, the great leaders will come from Ruth. And even though she was poor, he said to her that David will have 100 bars of gold for the Beit HaMikdash. David got this gold after fighting Goliath. And then Am Yisrael had a famine for 3 years, and people asked David to take some of his money and help them. David refused. We're going to learn that a little bit later. So because he didn't use that money in time of need for the Jewish people, he got punished that he didn't build the Beit HaMikdash. Others say that it was a punishment for building his palace first. Now is a problem, because we see that David built his palace in Yerushalayim first before building Beit HaMikdash. Some say that was a problem. That's why he got punished. Okay, so we see that many times when we put your honor first before Hashem, you could lose out on a mitzvah. Has shalom. Okay, one more thing. So let's see. So then he tells them your children, your son is going to build the Beit HaMikdash, not you, but you're going to start preparing. You're going to make preparations. I'm going to appoint. It says, "V'samti makom la'ami." I'm going to appoint a place for my people and establish them in peace. Nobody will bother them. And it's true. When we had the Beit HaMikdash, there was miracles. Everybody knew the Jewish people are the chosen people. Everybody was scared to fight with the Jewish people. There was a tremendous siyat d'shmaya. Fine. In accordance to all these words and the entire vision, so did Natan speak to David. What does David do? Ve'yavo melech David v'yishiv lifnei Hashem v'yom mi anochi Adonai Elohim mi beiti ki v'yotoni ad halom. Who am I? That Hashem chose me. You brought me this far. Hashem is so kind. He gave me the zechut. Ma yosif David o ledaber elecha. What more can I say? He's giving thanks and thanks and thanks to Hashem. So let's break this down a little bit. So what did he do right away when he heard this prophecy? It says the King David came and sat before Hashem. What does it mean sat before Hashem? So David said one of the halachot is in the Beit HaMikdash no one's allowed to sit. And it's a suit to sit in the Azara. Once you're in the Azara, the courtyard of the Beit HaMikdash, you're not allowed to sit. So what does it mean that David was allowed to sit before Hashem? So then for this pasuk we learned that the king is allowed to sit. The only person who's allowed to sit in the Azara is the king. So you see that the king has a tremendous kavod. Also, the Midrash says that how do you know you have to give thanks to Hashem for the good? Where's the obligation? He says from this that David blessed Hashem. We instituted Modim and Amidah. We instituted Modim and Amidah because we learned from David that he thanked him for this. They gave him the zechut to build the Bet HaMikdash. And look at the humility of David. That right away, what did he say? Who am I? I don't deserve. What do you mean? David is Hashem is always with him. He conquered all the enemies. He's such a righteous person. He's like in the level of the Avod. He's fourth like a Kisei Kavod. And still, he's saying, who am I to deserve all of this?
What's the Azara?
Azara is the courtyard of the Beit HaMikdash. Okay, so interesting, the commentaries say over here, they bring from the Gemara that David's time, there were scoffers, right? There were people making fun of David. And they used to say, when is the Beit HaMikdash going to be built? Similar to what we experienced with the synagogue, right? No, when you're going to finish already? How long? Right? So, but they did it not because it's taking long. They did it because they knew he's not going to finish. They knew that his son is going to finish. So they used to cause him a little anger. He knew he was trying to anger him. They knew that Hashem told him that there's only going to be able to after he died. And what did he say? He accepted it with joy. He says, I rejoice when they said to me, let us go to the house of Hashem. He says, look, the Jewish people, they want to go to the Beit HaMikdash. They're asking, when is it built? He didn't take it like an insult. He took it like, oh, they really want to go. Look. So he always judged them favorably. So therefore the Gemara says, David told Hashem, Yimon Olam, I heard people say, when is David going to die? So Shlomo can finally build it and we can go to the Beit HaMikdash. Hashem answered him, don't worry. For you, one day learning Torah of yours is worth for me more than 1,000 sacrifices your son Shlomo will bring before me. Baruch Olam.